If we fight like animals, we'll die like animals. Thank you. So that is now it for the classic era of Doctor Who. This is my season 26 review. If you're interested in watching any of the other 25 seasons, they're all in a playlist, linked right up in the corner, right now. So I'm going to get straight into it and start talking about Battlefield. I thought it was lovely seeing the Brigadier back. This is obviously the final time he returns, unless you count Dimensions in Time, which pretty much no one would. I love the Doctor's new jacket. It's not a big thing, but I love this variation compared. It suits his Doctor in this story, in this season. This whole season, the Doctor is a lot darker than he was in season 24 and 25, and he had a light jacket. This time is a lot darker, so he's got a dark jacket. The production value felt really, really high. The fact that you had a helicopter in it, you had a lot of explosions, it just felt really high, and it felt like they had a big budget. The whole thing felt like a John Pertwee story. You had Bessie, you had Unit, you had the Brigadier. It all felt very John Pertwee, and I like that because I love John Pertwee's whole era. As I said, the whole thing of Seven being a lot darker this season, I really like it. I think it really suits him, and I'm not going to lie, he's definitely up there. He's probably maybe second to Tom Baker. He might even surpass Tom Baker. I don't know, I haven't made my mind up yet, but he's a very good Doctor. He's very underrated, I think. And I'm glad they decided not to kill off the Brigadier. This was actually meant to be his final story, and they were meant to kill him off at the end, but I'm glad they didn't. And then we get to Ghostlight. The whole story was very dark, it was very creepy, and I like all that. The setting was just perfect. Everything just worked really well into being this fantastic, dark, horrific, gothic story, and I really, really like it. I love how Ace's character is getting a lot of development this season. Obviously in this story you've got finding out what her fears are and what a bit more about her home, essentially. I must admit though, Light looked really bad and the plot was very difficult to understand. Then we get to Curse of Fenric. I love how the Doctor forged that permission letter. It's only a little thing, but it's so funny, it's so 7th Doctor that. It's really good how we find out more about Ace's heritage. The Doctor implied his family had died in the war. Could this be the Time War? I know the Time War wasn't a thing back then, but I suppose in the narrative of the story it sort of works to be that way. And the ending was just superb. There's just no argument with that, it's just a fantastic ending. And then Survival, the final story of the classic era. I love the scene when the Doctor didn't pay for his shopping. Again, it's very 7th Doctor. Ainley and McCoy just look brilliant on screen together. Those two needed more stories than just this one. And talking about Ainley, his portrayal of the Master this story is better than any other story that he's been in up until this point. The story was absolutely phenomenal. If more people watched this story, I'm sure they wouldn't have had any issues with keeping it on the air. I think one of the main reasons for it being taken off the air was just the viewing figures. But it's a massive shame because when you get in stories like this, I think things really start to drop around season 24. That's a very weak season overall. And I think decisions were made about then. Maybe give it a couple more years, and if viewing figures don't rise, we'll axe in it. And obviously the 2 extra years where you had the 25th anniversary season with Greatest Show in the Galaxy, with Remembrance of the Dalek. Fantastic season overall. And this one as well, you've got Survival, you've got the Curse of Fenric, you've got Battlefield, you've got everything, and it worked really well. But it's just a shame because it all came too late. And knowing all that, when the Doctor walks off with Ace and you have that little monologue on top of that, it's really heartbreaking. I was trying not to break a tear because having watched nothing but classic Doctor Who since August time, it's something that is a massive change, and I love classic Doctor Who. I prefer classic Doctor Who to new Doctor Who. I know a lot of people don't like it when you compare the two of them, but it is better. The way it was done in the 20th century, even though you might think that there's a sexist portrayal of women, I think this season is a very good argument of the fact that that's not the case. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to say. That's the season in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave it a like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all my social medias, and I'll see you next time. Follow my social medias. There are worlds out there where the sky is burning, and the seas are asleep and the rivers dream. People made of smoke and cities made of song. Somewhere there's danger, somewhere there's injustice, and somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on Ace, we've got work to do.